Stop. Just stop. If you've ever found yourself yelling at your kids, trying to get them to be quiet, this video is going to change everything for you. Because here's what I know. When you're yelling, you look out of control. And the kids, they know it too. I'm Corbla Guy, and after spending years in the pre-K to first grade trenches, I'm here to share 5 powerful strategies that actually work when you're trying to quiet your noisy classroom. Plus, I've a bonus strategy that nobody, and I mean nobody, ever explicitly taught me about classroom management. The first problem that's driving teachers crazy: we think our classrooms are too noisy when our kids are actually learning. Listen, some teachers think it's noisy when kids are actively engaged, when they're collaborating, when they're excited about learning. But that's not the noise we need to eliminate. That's the sound of engagement. The real problem is when we can't distinguish between productive classroom sounds and actual chaos. You need to redefine what too noisy means in your classroom. Productive noise can sound like, "Can you help me with this? Look what I discovered. I think we should try it this way." Chaos, on the other hand, sounds like random shouting, off-task conversations, and kids who can't hear each other because the volume levels are too loud. Before we move to strategy 2, I want to hear from you. What does productive noise in your classroom sound like? Go ahead and drop a comment and share your thoughts below. Now, once you've redefined noise, you need to prevent the wrong kind from happening in the first place. The second problem creating noise chaos is your physical classroom. Is it working for you or against you? Think about it. If your centers are crammed together, kids literally have to yell to hear each other over the neighboring center. That's not a behavior problem. That's a design problem. So go ahead and ask yourself some of these questions. Is there enough space between the center activities so the children don't have to raise their voices? Do you have designated quiet areas like a library corner with soft seatings? Are your noisier activities like blocks or dramatic play positioned far away from your quieter activities like writing or puzzles? Here's what works. Create natural sound barriers. Use bookshelves, area rugs, furniture to define your spaces. Your library should be the furthest thing from your block center. Now I have a quick question. What's your biggest classroom layout challenge? Is it the amount of space you have? Is it furniture? Let me know in the comments. But even with the perfect setup, chaos can still happen. And when it does, you need immediate intervention strategies. Before we jump into the next strategy, if these tips are helping you, hit the subscribe button. I share practical classroom management strategies every week. You don't want to miss them. Here's problem number 3. When your classroom gets too loud, your instinct is to get louder, but that just adds to the chaos. Instead, you need a pattern interrupt. Think about what happens when someone calls into your classroom over the speakers. When you're in the middle of a lesson, everything stops, right? That's a pattern interrupt. Here are some of my go-to pattern interrupts that actually work. The first one is the popcorn chant. You just say pop, pop, and they respond corn, pop, pop, corn. The rhythm and repetition naturally brings attention to you. The second one I like is just flicking the lights. It's brilliant because it doesn't add to the noise volume at all. 1 flick, you wait. 2, you wait. By the 3rd, you have all eyes on you. The third pattern interrupt I like is a volume check song. So something like, if you're too loud and you know it, lower your voice. If you're too loud and you know it, lower your voice. Just something that simple. These interrupts work in the moment. But what about some long-term volume management? Kids forget what appropriate volume sounds like, especially when they get excited. This is where visual cues can be your best friend. My favorite is like a traffic light method. Red means too loud, bring it down. Yellow means check your volume, we're getting close. And green means just right, perfect classroom volume. Here's the key. You don't have to say a word, just point to the light. Kids self-regulate when there's a clear visual reference. You can also use volume level charts with numbers 1 to 5, or even create hand signals for different volume expectations. Do you have a visual volume system? What works in your classroom? Share your creative volume management ideas below. Other teachers need to see them. Visual cues work great for the whole class. But what about those individual kids who need some extra support? Some kids need individual reminders to use their inside voice, but calling them out disrupts the whole class. Enter the power of proximity. Simply moving closer to a child who's getting loud often reminds them to adjust their volume without any verbal correction. Here's how it works. As you're teaching or facilitating, naturally move towards students who need volume reminders. Your presence becomes the cue. You can also combine proximity with gentle nonverbal cues, like a quiet hand on their shoulder or making some eye contact and using that gesture. Maybe even pointing to your visual volume chart while you're standing near them. The beauty of proximity is that it maintains the flow of learning while addressing individual needs. Now, here's the bonus strategy that no one taught me about classroom management, and it's going to sound counterintuitive. When your classroom starts getting louder and louder and louder, get quieter, not louder. The problem most teachers face is volume escalations. Kids get louder, so we get louder. They get louder, we get louder. It's an exhausting cycle that ends with everyone shouting. Instead, try this. When the volume rises, you drop your voice to almost a whisper. Here's what happens. Kids have to get quiet to hear you. It's magical. Friends, I have something really important to share, but I can only share if you can hear my whisper voice. Now, this works because it breaks the volume escalation cycle. It creates intrigue. Kids lean in to listen, and it models the volume you want them to use. I've used this during story time, transitions, and even during centers. It never fails to bring the energy down naturally. Try the volume whisper technique this week. Come back and tell me how it went. I am genuinely curious to see how it works in your classroom. So let's recap these powerful strategies, plus the bonus that we just talked about. Redefine what noisy actually means. Distinguish what learning sounds like from chaos. Design your space intentionally. Prevent problems before they start with a smart layout. Use pattern interrupts like popcorn chant or lights or songs. Implement visual volume cues like a traffic light or hand signals. And use proximity for individual support. Your presence is so powerful. And use the whisper secret. Get quiet to make them quiet. Remember, the worst thing you can do is yell when you want kids to get quiet. You've got better tools now. If these classroom management tools helped you, you need to watch the next video that's on your screen, and I will see you in the next one.